Hello everyone. Today I am at North and South Leith Parish Church. It's one of my favourite graveyards, burial grounds that I've ever visited. I've been here numerous times because when I come on holiday I don't fly, so I visit Leith. It's got loads of history. And it was once part of the parish of Restalrig. And it was around the 1400s the first church was built, but nobody does graveyards better than Scotland. Some of these headstones are absolutely amazing. Oh my god, I've got a star of the show. Look at that squirrel. Hello. Have you ever been so close to a squirrel as that? My daughter's with me, she's like keeping the squirrel company. Quite tame, isn't it? But look at some of that headstone. You know, last year I did a video here. I think this is the same squirrel. She probably remembers this. But there are hundreds of headstones. And look at this. Climb up here, let's read this. Sacred to the memory of the Reverend Alexander Nisbet, Minister of the United Associate Congregation, Portsborough, Edinburgh, born at Huntley Wood, Berwickshire, 21st of February 1807. He was licensed 6th of April 1831, ordained 24th of November 1831, died 12th of September 1832, so a relatively young man. Didn't spend long as a minister. I'm guessing he was Presbyterian or Methodist, but this epitaph is the longest I've ever seen. Look at this. His talents, vigorous by nature, improved by assiduous cultivation, and sanctioned by grace, gave promise of a rich harvest of usefulness to the glory of God, whom it was his delight to serve in the gospel of his Son. His affection sincere, ardent, generous, confiding, threw around his acquirements the resistless charm of simplicity and truth, the light in which many rejoice for a season. Death, though it came prematurely, was not sent to extinguish, but to transfer to the more genial climes of endless day, whence it will return again to animate and illuminate the clay which now rests beneath, in the hope of a glorious resurrection. Wow, I'm out of breath just reading that. I'm going to have to jump down here. How many squirrels are there now? This is an absolutely gorgeous churchyard. It was on a BBC documentary the other year because when they put the tram line in, they had to dig up part of the perimeter of the church, and they found hundreds of skeletons from medieval times. I think it's Digging Up Britain you'll find it on. But in there, I'm guessing there must be a bricked up vault. Look at that. Alexander Lawson, spirit merchant of Leith, who was born 11th of March 1772. The integrity, the guideless simplicity and the kindliness of heart which distinguished his character endeared him to his friends and procured him the respect of the community, of which was for many years a useful member, qualities which were crowned by unfeigned and humble piety, appearing in his devout regard for the institutions of religion, in the godliness of his conversation, and in the meek resignation with which affliction and death he bowed to the will of his heavenly Father. Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord. You couldn't imagine anybody today, could you, going into like a monumental mason and asking, can you put all that stuff down for me? You'd probably just get now like loving father, loving grandfather. That's in memory of John Brown, ship owner, Leith. There's a few connections between Sunderland and Leith. Obviously lots of men worked on the ships going between the two. Many moved and lived either way. It's absolutely huge churchyard. The squirrels are so tame here. Corin, I'm being followed again, look! Have you seen a squirrel come so close? Corin, there's another 3 here. Staring at us. I've got nothing for you. I'm just going to go around where there's those skull and crossbones, headstones. So we're just going to go around the side. I've got my daughter with us, we're on holiday. So we're just been for tea, so as you do, you come to a graveyard. But it is such a lovely night in Leith. Couldn't ask for more sunshine in Leith than if you tried. Some absolutely amazing headstones around the corner. But look at that. I don't think I've noticed that one before. There's the skull. I'm just going to go over that way where there's some lovely headstones over that. I think this is where Rod Stewart christened his children a couple of years ago. Oliver Cromwell stationed his troops in this church back in the War of the Three Kingdoms when he took over Scotland. Sun's a bit bright. I love that name. Here lie the remains of Robert Coldclough, carter in Leith. A carter was somebody who used to take stuff around, like house removals, goods. Likewise, 6 of their children. This stone is likewise erected in memory of Robert Coldclough, late rope maker. So must have been a carter, then became a rope maker. There's the church up there. Medieval, I think it's 1400s, but obviously it's changed a bit since then. But here you've got the old and the new. You've got Trinity House over there. That was a farm foods till a couple of years ago, that particular place there. And then you've got, what's that, 60s or 70s block of flats. And over the back you've got Georgian, Victorian properties. And then here you've got, look at these stones. Absolutely gorgeous. There should be a memento mori one round here. Look at that. Imagine the work gone into this. It actually says memento mori. There's memento, and I think there's a mori somewhere. Memento mori means basically you're going to die, and prepare for that. And look at this. There's somebody else who's a maltman in Leith. Here lies the corpse, see, no E, of Beatrix Thompson, I've got the long S, spouse to John Pow, maltman in Leith, who departed this life June the 10th, 1729. Also 7 of their children. Bloody hell. In the midst of life, we are in death. It's an absolutely beautiful spot here. Just to show how we got the old and the new. You'll see in the background there, there's a Lidl's. So we've got medieval graves, not medieval, but like 16th, 1700s. And then the supermarket next door. That's a good view of the church. I've never been inside it. I've walked through it as a shortcut many a time. You alright? I've got my daughter following behind. across there. Apologies if it's a bit wobbly. I haven't got me monopod. I'm just basically using a handheld camera. That's members of the Lindsay family. It goes all the way around here. See, it's quite a big graveyard. But if you look on Digging for Britain, look for Leith. Because they put the trams down the side of here. That to take away some of the churchyard. And they found like an ossuary where there was a pit of old medieval graves. From like the 1450s, 1600s, I think. I was hoping we might get a tram come past. It was an absolutely gorgeous night in Edinburgh. Up there's towards Leith Walk. I think we've actually got some Commonwealth graves here as well. Have a look at them. These are so common in Edinburgh. I think it's like family burial grounds, so if you dug down there'd be loads of bodies in there. And there's somebody there who is 2018. Generally you don't find like modern burials in these medieval places these days, especially in cities, different in the countryside. That's private. J. Quinn, Cameron Highlanders, 22nd of December 1917. And then there's J. Greenhill, the Royal Field Artillery, 26th of February 1920, age 26. I'm being stalked by squirrels. These are all for the members of the Wood family. Christopher Wood, merchant in Leith, to the memory of Christopher Wood, from Craythorne in Yorkshire, which, from memory, I think is near Yarm. Thomas Hurriet. And then we'll go inside this one. All sorts in here. Robert William Ramsay, late captain of the Black Watch, son of Thomas and Williamson Ramsay of Lixmount in Maxton, born 1806, died at Norwood, 29th in London, I think, 29th of August 1886, and interred at Elmer's End Cemetery. Imagine his history he could tell of the Black Watch. And there's lots of Ramsays. Another one buried in Kensal Green, so I'm just guessing these were like a leading family, military family. I've only ever looked at like a handful of these headstones because it takes you so long to get around. And because I'm on holiday, I generally just walk through. What's this? Lots of Andersons. Erected in memory of Alexander Anderson. Andrew Balmain, builder in Leith. Sorry, it's Balmain. Oh, look at that. James Allison, who died at Pilnick Avenue, Leith. McAlpine, then we've got a few false crypts here. Five paces east of this monument are the remains of George Ritchie, shipmaster in Leith, and four of their infant children, also three daughters. They lived to a good age, 70, 79 and 86. I'm trying to work out where east is. 5 paces of this monument. East. Well, that's north. Happy East. Memory of James Campbell, shipmaster. There's quite a few people in actually. More squirrels. Oh, look at that. And of the Reverend John Morrison Scody, Master of Arts at Cantab, chaplain to the London Hospital, their only surviving son who died of scarlet fever caused in the discharge of his ministerial duties, 1st December 1860. Them also who sleep in Jesus, God will bring with him. I didn't realise scarlet fever affected people who weren't children, especially in the 30-year-old. Some great surnames in here. Robert Duncan, shipmaster, mentions a Janet Blanthorne. Look at this. Erected to the memory of George Irvin of Quaylar, merchant in Sandwick in Orkney, who departed this life at Leith, 7th May 1800, aged 50 years, who lived respected and died much regretted. Should put some sun cream in, it's so warm. There's another one of these really old ones. I haven't got my torch with us, but here lies the corpse of somebody. And then this one here. In memory of Alexander Robertson, printer in Edinburgh, who died 16th of April 1795, aged 84. Right, so thank you very much for watching this particular video. I wish I could spend a little bit more time in here. Look at this, in memory of Edward Lawton Esquire from Jamaica. This stone is erected by his disconsolate widow. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you do like it, please give it a like. And if you want to, click on subscribe. It is much appreciated. And I will see you wherever I go next. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.